Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through top news across Canada.
He was going the wrong way. Police released 911 call about driver traveling west on Highway 47 eastbound lanes. Women in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being rescued from high-rise fire in North York. Google to pay $100 million a year to Canadian news publishers in deal with Ottawa. 12 arrested, 81 charges laid in connection with auto theft and insurance fraud ring, plead police. Suspects wanted in break and enter theft of a motor vehicle investigation. Ford government releases business case for moving the Science Centre. Here's why they said they are moving it to Ontario Place. Elderly woman in hospital with life-threatening injuries following midtown collision.
These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details.
A 75-year-old woman is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being struck by a truck near Yonge Street and Eglinton Avenue. Police say the collision occurred at approximately 10:25 a.m. on Tuesday in the area of Yonge and Sudan Streets. It is alleged that the woman was crossing Sudan Street when she was struck by a white box truck turning left. The woman remains in hospital with serious injuries. The incident being investigated by members of traffic services. Anyone with the information dash camera or security camera footage is asked to contact Toronto Police. Ottawa has agreed to set a $100 million yearly cap on payments that Google will be required to make to media companies when the government's controversial online news legislation takes effect at the end of the year. The announcement Wednesday has Liberals bending the tech giant's demands after Google threatened back in February to remove news from its platform. The Online News Act compels tech giants to enter into compensation agreements with news publishers for content that appears on Google sites and contributes to the company's revenues. A formula in the government's draft regulation to implement the bill would have seen Google contribute up to $172 million to news organizations. Google balked, saying it was expecting a figure closer to $100 million based on what it said was a previous estimate from Canadian heritage officials. The company appears to have gotten what it wanted after an extended period of negotiation. Still, Canadian Heritage Minister Pascal Saint-Onge called it a historic development, insisting Wednesday that the agreement was ultimately a win for the government and for the local news publishers it is seeking to support. Google's president of global affairs, Ken Walker, thanked the minister of acknowledging our concerns and deeply engaging in a series of productive meetings about how they might be addressed. He said in a statement that the extensive discussion addressed the company's core issues with Bill. The deal will allow Google to comply with the legislation by paying into a single collective bargaining group that will serve as a media fund. Meta, on the other hand, complied simply by blocking all news content from Canadian users of its largest platforms, Instagram and Facebook. Last month, News Media Canada, a lobby group of hundreds of Canadian newspapers and magazines, said it agreed with many of the issues Google raised during the back and forth over how the bill would be implemented. The group said there should be a cap on how much the search giant would have to pay under the law. In addition to its financial contribution, Canadian Heritage said Google will continue to make programs available for Canadian news businesses, such as training tools and resources for business development and support for non-profit journalism projects. Google said Wednesday that the deal means there will be immediate changes to existing agreements it has with publishers in Canada under its Google News Showcase agreements, which were part of $1 billion global investment. The company said it will review its ongoing investments in Canada when the final regulations are published. Google wouldn't say how much it is already paying publishers under existing contracts, saying such agreements are confidential commercial arrangements. Companies that fall under the Online News Act must have total global revenue of $1 billion or more in a calendar year, operate in a search engine or social media market, distributing and providing access to news content in Canada, and have 20 million or more Canadian average monthly unique visitors or average monthly active users. For now, Google and Meta are the only companies that meet those criteria. Police say 12 people accused of operating a vehicle theft and auto insurance fraud ring in and around the Greater Toronto Area have been arrested following a lengthy and complex investigation. Speaking to reporters on Wednesday morning, police said 9 stolen vehicles were seized and more than 81 charges have been laid in the investigation dubbed Project Memphis. The investigation was launched in early 2023 following a tip from a member of the public, police said. Over the course of investigation, police said officers learned of a group that was stealing vehicles from driveways and dealership lots, revending the cars, and then paying people to buy the stolen vehicles. Police said the vehicles seized in the investigation, which include BMWs, Range Rovers, and Bentley, were valued at $1.2 million. Investigators also said Project Memphis prevented $350,000 in insurance fraud. Police alleged that some of the vehicles were trafficked through local dealerships, which were unaware of the illegal activity. Investigators said the majority of the individuals charged have previously been employed in the automotive or automotive finance industry. According to police, the vehicles were trafficked in a way that was complex and involved insider knowledge to circumvent certain systems that are in place to prevent this type of fraud. Those accused in the case reside in Hamilton, Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton. The charges include trafficking in stolen goods, fraud over $5,000, possession of property obtained by crime, and forgery. A woman has life-threatening injuries after being pulled from a high-rise fire in North York Wednesday afternoon. Crews were called to a residential building on York Mills Road east of Don Valley Parkway shortly before 2:30 p.m. Toronto Fire said crews encountered smoke and heavy fire in a unit on the 5th floor. They searched the place and located an occupant without vital signs. The individual was pulled out of the unit and crews immediately performed CPR. The victim, a woman in her 50s, was subsequently rushed to the hospital. There is no immediate word on the condition. The fire reached a 3-alarm response, but Toronto Fire said the bulk of the blaze had been knocked down. Several residents have been evacuated, and TTC buses are being called to shelter them temporarily while crews work on fully extinguishing the fire. The cause, origin, and circumstance of the fire are unknown so far. Police are searching for 2 suspects after a home in Toronto's East End was broken into and a number of personal items, including a vehicle, was stolen. At about 6:45 a.m., police responded to a call for a break and enter in the Danforth Avenue and Woodbine Avenue area. Police say 2 suspects entered a house and stole a number of personal items along with the car keys before fleeing the scene. The suspects allegedly returned to the home and short time later to take the victim's vehicle. Police have released images requesting the public's assistance in identifying the 2 suspects. The first suspect is described as a woman with long blonde hair. She was last seen wearing a white jacket. The second suspect is described as a medium-built man with a goatee. At the time, he was wearing a gray Nike hooded sweatshirt, gray pants, a red baseball hat, and black shoes. Anyone with the information is asked to contact police at 416-808-5500, Crime Stoppers anonymously. Durham police have released a 911 audio recording that captured a frantic driver reporting a vehicle traveling the wrong way on Highway 407 over the weekend. I'm on the 407 going east and I was nearly hit by a car driving on the 407 east going west, the man is heard telling the operator. When asked if he saw the license plate, the man said he did not because the vehicle was speeding. He added that he was not able to discern the type of vehicle. All I could see was this car driving towards me, so I moved over into the right lane and almost made me feel like I was going the wrong way, but I wasn't going the wrong way, the man told the operator. He was going the wrong way. The audio of the 911 call is included in Wednesday's news release about the incident that occurred on the evening of November 25th. Police said it was just one of the several calls they received about the wrong way vehicle. Officers immediately responded and subsequently located the vehicle, a black Honda sedan. It was pulled over without incident, police said, and the driver was arrested. He has been identified as 44-year-old Marion Tondera from Oshawa. He is facing charges of impaired operation, fail, refuse, demand, dangerous operation, and drive the wrong way, divided highway. Police said he was released on an undertaking.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.